mean, what you're saying is really important, Brianna. Yeah, it's stressing the importance of individuals because they all have unique personalities. And so you can have a pack of wolves or a flock of birds or a school of fish or a colony of insects. And each individual's life is important. And the whole is in some ways more than the sum of its parts, simply because they contribute to one another and they change over time. But that's another aspect of the ethological approach. We don't talk about the wolf or the dog or the falcon or the goldfish or the snake, the
Right.
lizard. We're talking about individual personalities, and the reason, and you're raising a really good point. I am a full supporter. There are alpha animals, there
Right.
are alpha dogs, but alpha doesn't mean the most aggressive or the most dominant. It just means that they control a lot of the behavior in non-violent ways.
Right.
And in the dog literature, there's a complete cluster mess up of saying that Dave Meach, who I happen to know and I've worked with him just recently, he never said there weren't alpha or dominant wolves. But people say he did. So
Mhm.
alpha describes a certain personality, for example, but alpha doesn't mean aggressive or dominant. It just means
Right.
that other individuals tend to follow that individual, and the highest ranking animal in a group can change over time. So,
Right.
so from an ethological point of view, you would ask the question of why did these sorts of personalities evolve? Why are they adaptive? What
Right.
causes individuals to behave that way? Um, how did they develop into that position? Because the development evolution questions are rather different. And then what are they feeling?
Right.
Adding, subjective experiences. So the ethological view and the whole field of cognitive ethology, say studying animal cognition and animal emotions and animal sentience, really entails very detailed studies that try to answer those five questions. And
Mhm.
that's why it's just so exciting. It's my book is kind of like the ethology of animal emotions, if you will.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I've really been enjoying reading it. I haven't
Thank you.
quite finished it yet, but it's been really wonderful, especially with like the newer editions and to be able to see that especially for so obviously the word alpha, the definition gets very chewed up
Yes.
between who's talking about it, who's describing it, but especially in regards to the individual, my friend who was so nice to connect us, Rachel Tilseth. I had her on the podcast a while ago, and what she says is that the individual is probably what needs to happen now in regards to focusing on conservation efforts, trying to focus on the individual. And I think especially when it comes to wolves, and that not all wolves are created equal in a pack, which is what I was kind of trying to lead to, is that there's the yearlings, there's the alpha, but the alpha I think means more of connectiveness and wisdom and knowledge, right? Like
Mhm.
typically the wolves are family, so it's all about love and that connection there.
Right, exactly. It could mean a lot of different things. There have been studies that show that the alpha or highest ranking individual commands the attention of others, not in an aggressive way, but commands their attention. So the lower ranking animals in a group are more attentive to where the alpha is and what they're doing. It couldn't be a male or a female. And that's called the attention structure theory of dominance, if you will. So, right. And so among dogs, the reason that it's been misused is because there's people who go, well, I'm the alpha member of my pack and, my pack of dogs or
Right.
my single dog. But
Right.
then it's misused because there are dog trainers out there who advocate the use of horrifically negative reinforcement. And they'll
Right.
say, well, you're the alpha. And I'm thinking, Well, no, no, no. I mean, and all the studies of feral and free-ranging dogs show that they form groups that resemble wolf packs, but once again, the alpha is not beating up on every other individual, even in a feral dog park. So
Right.
I personally, and I've written this, was shocked because I'm really an ethologist and I've done field work on coyotes for many years and different birds. I've watched wolves, I've watched foxes. And I mean, of course, there are higher ranking individuals, but what's great is the way their personalities may change over time due to the composition of the pack or the situation they're in. And then I'm reading among dogs, dog people, that dogs don't form dominance relationships. It's just dumb to say that. Of course they do, but they don't
Right.
necessarily enforce them using negative, you fighting, you know,
Right.
or,
You
or
know,
yeah.
right. Like in my mind, what comes to mind is I have a 3-year-old son. So I'm his mom, obviously, but I'm making sure he's not getting into trouble or, running into the street or
Hmm.
something like that. Like that's how I kind of view the alpha looking after the pack, making sure everyone is fed, taken care of, not hurt or not going to get in trouble. Looking out for its pack rather than trying to be aggressive or assert dominance.
Well, you could also say, and I really mean this, and I've written on this, that your son at some times would be the quote attention getting alpha individual by controlling what you do. I mean,
Interesting point. Yeah.
yeah, I mean exactly. So it's there's a lot of shades of gray. We